Hello, lovelies. I'm just sitting here having a bit of quiet time, and I got the urge to write a little post about something, and then I realized I'd just do this instead and just chat for a minute. So, what I wanted to chat with you about is we are fortunately finally witnessing the crumbling and dissolving of power as power over, right? So most people, and I've worked with a lot of clients over the years who have even been hesitant to really embrace their power and how powerful they are because they had been conditioned to understand power as power over. And that's totally understandable because that's what we've seen so much of, right? And then I was having a conversation with a dear friend the other day, and we were talking about, like, right now there's so many examples of things coming out into the open that hadn't been in the open before as much, especially with regard to things that are abuses of power, right? And you've probably always seen this connection. Why is it that we see so many people who are politicians or executives of some kind then also get caught up in other abuses of power, right? I'm not sure which things, which words social media tends to censor, but you know what I'm talking about, like SA, right? And the case in France right now that's just horrific and getting so much attention. And obviously, as a buildup in the past 5 or more years, there's been any number of people who held positions of power in various arenas and that's how they built and consolidated their power, was continuing to abuse that power and then hold that against people. And and people's shame and fear of coming forward about things is what allowed the people who were abusing the power in the first place to hold on to it and maintain it. And that's what we're seeing finally start to fall. And this woman in France is a great example, right? Of instead of succumbing to her shame, she chose that it was more important for the perpetrators, for the abusers to be named. So we're just going to see a bigger acceleration of that than ever before, of that crumbling. So it's a great opportunity for you to check in and see what your relationship has been. Sorry, I don't know if that's too loud for you to hear me. There's some noise going by. What your relationship has been with power, right? Do you think of power only in the distorted way that we've seen it so commonly in the form of power over? Or are you comfortable in your power as what power truly is? So when people are relating to power as power over, then that's why it shows up in so many really ugly ways, right? And why it's not surprising when then people who hold positions of power turn out to be abusing it, because the abuses are a seeking of power and the power over is that. But what that's actually rooted in is a deep powerlessness. So for someone to need and crave to hold power over or to manipulate, it's because they have a deep, and a lot of times it's very subconscious, sometimes they're very aware of it, but an inner sense of powerlessness. So it's not power itself in its true form that is the issue. It's this distortion that we've been conditioned to believe just is what power is, which is actually this deep-seated powerlessness that then manifests itself as looking to have power over. So take a nice deep breath. Just breathe into whatever feels like the center of you in this moment. And see what comes up, because even if this isn't something that you've had a lot of personal experiences with, although many, many, many people have had some degree of experience with this, even if it was just that someone manipulated you, right? Even if it wasn't something very brutal, but it could be. Even if you don't personally have experience with that, there's so much of it happening in the collective that you still have an experience of a piece of that energy. So breathe into how that shows up in your body, how it feels to you. That power has been understood as power over, and that deep underlying powerlessness that leads to abuses of power. And see how that has affected you in ways that have had you step back from embracing and standing in and enjoying power, understanding the truth of power, rather than that distortion that is power over, that's actually rooted in a powerlessness that's trying to be hidden. And see if go ahead and breathe into the center of your heart to allow any unresolved shame to arise and unravel from any time that you were on either side of this dynamic. So whether someone was abusing power over you, or maybe you manipulated someone, maybe you tried to have power over someone, or experience something that you feel was an abuse of power, whether you were on the giving or receiving end of that. Let the shame associated with that start to melt and dissolve. Yeah, there you go. Just letting it open up, breathing into the very center of your heart. And letting your heart guide you as you cooperate with the shifts that have to happen now for you to move forward in a way that is balanced and clear and true to the core of your being. That frees you up to experience life as the totality of what you truly are. So nice deep breath again, just there's this sense of layers just peeling off and being shed, letting those old unresolved energies be free to unravel. And letting that redefine your relationship with power in the truth of what it actually is. In the truth of your capacity to bring more harmony into the world, your capacity to bring more love into the world, your capacity to bring more peace into the world, your capacity to bring more delight into the world. Because if you're not willing to be powerful, it'll feel more difficult to do that, to bring that even into your life, right? I'm not saying that you need to, and for some people, this is what you're going to do, go out in a big way and do those things, but that's not the only way, right? When I'm talking about powerfully bringing those things into the world, I mean in your car while you're driving and you're not getting upset by what other drivers are doing, right? I mean, in your home, loving the people around you and bringing harmony there. I mean, when you go into work, bringing that harmony and peace and delight with you, right? It doesn't all have to be some grand thing. Every moment of your life is grand and precious. Every moment of your experience is you bringing your soul essence into expression. So I love you. It's so nice to connect with you this way, and I'll see you soon.